Come down. Ooh, you make my high come down. Always tripping when you come around. Never have to cut you out like right now. You see, I don't have to drive me. You can say that for your mama. Maybe you should smoke some. Me try the marijuana. I was never you good. The vibe was straight. Showed you a couple of things and they finished change. I treated you right. Everything was a gift from a time to your bag and the color on your lip.
Welcome to the Seahawks Man to Man podcast, powered by Blue Wire. Shout out to the new company. My name is Michael-Shawn and You guys can follow me on whatever Elon Musk is calling that app these days. My @ name has not changed. It's also right under my chin, at Mike Dugar, MikeDugar. Appreciate all the love and support for everyone who is watching or listening via our YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. Do all the buttons that mean good things. Do that for us, please. Even if you are someone that is primarily an audio consumer. Our YouTube channel, Seahawks Man to Man, is the name of the channel. Seahawks Man, the number 2 man. That's also the same thing on Instagram and TikTok as well. Go to those sites, hit the good buttons. We appreciate the love and support in advance. Chris, go ahead, talk to him.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Christopher Kidd. You can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at CKIDD206, and that's CKid206.
All right, we're back from our hiatus. Appreciate you being patient with us there. As I mentioned on our last show, which I think was in like June at this point, took some time off. Chris had a birthday, didn't tell anybody about. I had a birthday as well recently. Took some PTO. As you guys can maybe tell from my new background, not so much. Bought a house, so I'm in the new crib right now. So yeah, a lot of moving parts going on. Quick programming note for me and Chris. Dive into like pre-training camp stuff, because by the time this is out, it'll be the day of training camp. This could be the last one for like a week or so, or two, maybe. I'm expecting baby number 2 here any day now. So if you don't see me write anything or tweet anything, or Chris and I do a show for a little bit, it's because my son's here. So fingers crossed out to my wife that goes well. That's also why we're recording before anything pops off at training camp, just so you guys can hear from us and see us and get our takes before I may have to dip out a little bit, because again, son will be arriving. So fingers crossed that all goes well. All right. Any other announcements before we?
Nah, man, you hit them all, man. Can you believe it, Mike? It feels like yesterday the season just ended and we got a little breather. The draft came. Oh, it's starting to get busy. Oh, okay. Here we are, training camp. So, gosh, time waits for nobody.
Yeah. Much needed break, though, man. Much needed break. You could tell we needed a break in the whole NFL world, too, because sometimes I look on the TV if I'm just bored, look on ESPN and I see what they're debating. And I'd be like, damn, we're in that stage of the offseason, huh? Like, we're turning a Cowboys holdout into somehow it gets into like, is Braun better than Jordan? And I'm just like, everybody needs to just go on vacation for a little bit. Everybody go to Mexico for a little bit, and just relax. I'm glad we're back with some actual stuff to discuss. Training camp, as I mentioned, starts on Wednesday. The rookies have been here for a week. The vets all reported the day we're recording this. That is Tuesday. I believe everyone will be present and accounted for. Don't think we should get any contract holdouts, hold-ins, whatever the kids are doing these days. I don't think we should get any of those, which is good. I hate those. It's hard to report on those. Not very fun. I want guys to get their money though. So yeah, what do we got? Oh, we got the first guy who's not getting any money. I guess that's not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing. But while I was what day was that? Was that Sunday?
Yeah.
Cut Noah?
Yeah.
Cut Noah.
Everybody was off and getting ready for their work week.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Well, I know. Well, yeah, you were on your way to my crib probably. I had my daughter's birthday and baby shower all on Sunday. Look up.
Yep.
Damn, they cut Noah. It's like, oh, that sucks. Sent out a few tweets, went right back to doing what I was doing. A bunch of people asked me, like, oh, what do you think? What do you think? Now you guys can hear what I think. When I saw that, they saved, I think, like $8 million and some change. Chris, when I saw they cut Noah, I was actually very shocked, because usually when you get rid of a guy like that and you don't need the money, because they don't, to be very clear, they don't need the money. they can extend all the guys they want to extend without cutting Noah. They have like 34 million in cap space now. They saved some cash. They owed Noah 8 million if he played this year, but I don't think Jody Allen's needing to GoFundMe to pay these guys. So I think they're okay on the cash as far as I know. But they save that. But when you cut a guy when you don't need to, usually I'm thinking like he's a locker room problem, or you're just kind of crowded in that tight end room with a bunch of guys who could contribute at a cheaper clip. And I didn't really check either of those boxes with Noah. Or the guy's washed, got an injury concern. Seems fine to me. I was very surprised by that because I don't think a Noah cut is like addition by subtraction either. I don't think getting rid of him makes your tight end room better just because he was a problem or taking away targets from somebody else. I think there was plenty of room in theory to bring Elijah Arroyo along, to bring an AJ Barner along, and still have Noah Fant at a cap number of 13 million or whatever, which only accounted for about 13% of the cap, according to Over the Cap. I was very surprised by that. And it just shows you how tough the business can be too. Because if you guys notice, no one really quotes Noah in stories that often. He doesn't do a lot of interviews, not because, and he doesn't have much to say. And I think that's really mature of him because, boy, I'd be pissed if I was Noah. Noah is used to, Chris, let's do this dive to Noah's Football Reference page here for a second here. Let's do that. Noah started off his rookie year getting 66 targets, 40 catches, 562, 3 touchdowns. Next year in Denver, 62 catches, 673 yards, 3 tugs. Next year in Denver, 68 receptions, 670, 4 tugs. Like he's got a standard. Like he can produce. Even when he got here to Seattle, what's this? 50 catches, 486, and 4 touchdowns. So a little drop in the yardage, a little drop in the catches too. Kind of understandable on a new team. In a crowded tight end room, Colby Parkinson, Will Dissly, and stuff like that. Christian, how many balls do you think Noah caught in 2023? Do you know off the top of your head?
I don't. I would
give
say
it a guess while I'm on the page.
27.
He caught 32, that's a career low. He had, let's say, over under. You think 500 yards that year?
Under.
414. 414.
Surprised you got that, but whatever.
And didn't catch a touchdown the entire year.
And he played.
That was 2023.
11 games.
No, that year he played every game.
Oh, okay.
Every game. So Pete's final year.
Got you. Yep.
Yeah, played every game. Last year, 48 catches, 500 yards on the nose, and then 1 touchdown, which I believe was in the final game against the Rams. So just, I think, and that guy, and I've talked to Noah too, a little on and off the record, mostly on. That's not a guy who was ever willing to complain. Go out there, do his work, practice, be available, not complain about the targets, not make little sly comments, nothing on social media ever. And I think those are the guys you want in your locker room for real, because there's no reason for Noah not to get the ball. And now he kind of handles himself the right way, like a mature professional, re-ups, goes out there, tries to do his job, plays well, and now he's unemployed. Damn, man, Chris, this business is tough.
No, it really is. My question, Mike, and maybe you could answer it because I honestly don't know. Who would you say is the better run blocker, AJ Barner or Noah Fant?
That's a good question. I think Noah is a more consistent blocker all around. I think he's just more consistent, and that's just as important as like the talent, because blocking is so much about the want to and commitment to it. There's techniques and stuff as well, but you can teach anyone to block for the most part if they're of a certain size, and Noah and AJ are. I think it's probably a push in terms of talent, but Noah he's committed to it, more committed to it than he was on the Denver tape that I watched when they first traded for him. So I thought that it couldn't have been a talent thing. If it's a talent thing, I think Kubiak's tripping. I think McDonald's tripping. I think John Snyder's tripping if it's a talent thing. If it's a blocking thing, I just don't see it.
I don't think it's just a blocking thing. It's probably younger talent, but the crazy thing is, isn't he 27 years old? So it's not as if now
Yeah, he's not washed. They're not cutting
I know
35-year-old Jimmy Graham.
I know AJ Barner is 23. I think about to be 24 this season, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't have a reason for it. I'm just trying to grasp at straws to see what they envisioned and why it's not working out. Because to your point, he's been
AJ's 23, by the way.
23. Okay, so yeah, that I would just guess back to our discussion we've had years ago. You can get younger all you want. It doesn't mean you're gonna be better. And this is a perfect example of, well, maybe they got younger and they got, obviously with blocking, it's a 1-2. I thought AJ Barner was a good blocker in this offense last season. He was a good pass catcher when they need him to be. He's a physical guy. I thought he checked those boxes. So in my eyes, I thought, okay, maybe they're looking more forward to putting him out there and Elijah Arroyo. He's going to get his opportunity now. But then also, that's a lot of pressure on a rookie that's coming in to a new team. Just physicality is a lot different, more games. That is a lot to ask of a rookie. Now, granted, if he's able to hit the ground running and do it, bravo. But to your point about not having a room full of tight ends and that veteran, well, now what? You have a bunch of guys that are 23, 22. How does that shape up? Who's that veteran presence that been around the block? He knows the game a little bit. He can show you a thing or two. That could be missed in the tight end room. So that's where I'm at. I don't have I guess I was a little shocked, but then I've also heard people talk about Noah Fant, how he wasn't that good in the run blocking. His route wasn't as crisp. He wasn't available like the Seahawks would want him to be. Okay, cool. That's fine too. But again, you're now asking AJ Barner to take that next step, which I think he's capable of doing. I was a big AJ Barner fan last season and what he was doing on the field, going back and watching the tape and watching how he blocked and how he had a few amazing catches in the end zone for touchdowns. Like, he was doing his thing, but now he's going to have to really step up and do that, as well as Elijah Arroyo.
Yeah, and Noah's a decent blocker, man. It's not a talent thing. Noah's got the talent. He's not old, 27. His last year was his first time missing games. You know, he played all 17 games both seasons in 2022, 2023. Yeah, I mean, and also I think that the depth, you still need depth. And I also think in this offense, the tight end is going to be very important too. You know, it's not like if you run 11 personnel, let's say you're 11 personnel team, like the Seahawks have basically been. Your tight end's got to be like maybe your fourth best pass catcher, which that's
Rams.
fine. Yeah, it's like I don't need you to cook. Really, if I'm trotting out 3 dudes every play, that's nice. Like tight end, just block, you know, every once in a while catch some passes, kind of how they were using Noah before. But in this offense, where you're talking about 21 personnel, talking about 12 personnel, then you're kind of going back to more of what Shane Waldron was doing when he was the offensive coordinator. And I know some people right here, Shane Waldron's like, oh, well, Mike, we don't want to go back to that. But Shane Waldron was doing some cool stuff to get his tight ends involved when he was really locked in. It was very inconsistent, which is why he's unemployed as well. But yeah, I don't think they get better by doing this, and they save money. But I'm like, what you gonna use the money for? You know, like how many touchdowns does cap space plan on catching this year? Probably not many. So I was very, very confused by it. I also kind of felt bad for Noah too. It's like, if this was on the table, I'd rather you cut me in March. You know, cut me in April, cut me before the draft. Yeah, you cutting me a couple of days before some teams have already started training camp, you know, and it's not like you're cutting me when somebody's tight end has blown their ACL in a preseason game or something. Because then, it's more likely you can go get a job. Now it's just like, now you got to sit on your couch and wait until somebody blows their ACL in training camp or something. You know, that's just unfortunate to be. And again, I think the person part is professional part should be noted too, because the Seahawks have had guys who won't shut up about their snaps, blitzing more, rushing the passer more, how they're used, getting the ball more. And Noah just took that in stride. And I thought that was really, really important. The type of guys that teams usually say they want. So again, surprised that they were just willing to just do that without ever, also, I guess last thing on this, Chris, they're willing to do that without ever seeing a Royal in pads.
As I said, I've heard both sides. I know you are big on Noah Fant, and I understand exactly where you're coming from because I've watched the tape and I thought he was fine. Hell, I got a clip of him doing a nasty route and having a huge completion with Geno Smith. And I thought when he's out there, he can bring you that. But when you have JSN taking it to the next level, when you have DK, who is your number one guy, you have Ty Lockett on the roster, as you always mentioned, Mike, there's only one football. Not everybody's going to be able to get the stats. And it starts with DK, JSN, Lockett, K9. That's who you want the ball to go to. And then it's everybody else, Noah Fant and whatever the case may be. So he was on the outside looking in. I still don't think it was perhaps the right move, but we'll find out, won't we? Because as you mentioned, these young guys ain't even in pads yet, and you're willing to bank on it, which is why I put, hey, there's a lot of pressure on the young guys. AJ Bonner, okay, you are tight end number 1 right now on the roster. Right now, that's where it stands. It was Noah Fant. You're now shoved in that position, and you got to be money every snap. There can't be miscues. Not that Noah Fant was the perfect guy, because he wasn't. We know that. But you don't have any wiggle room now. You got a young rookie who is right behind you looking to get snaps as well. So we'll see how this plays out. And it starts tomorrow, right? It starts tomorrow with training camp to see how these guys can develop for these next few weeks before their first preseason game against who, Mike? The Las Vegas Raiders. Can't wait.
Yeah, make sure if you want to talk about some Noah clips, and if we clip this up, put these in there, man. Put in there that catch and run against the Giants when he got it down to the 1 yard line on Monday Night Football. Go ahead and throw in there the catch and run against the Cardinals that ices their game. I want to say this might be in 2023 as well. Shoot, even the touchdown he caught last year in the season finale. Like, I'm pretty sure he got flipped on his head. You know, that's a good player, really good athletic player. So we'll see. I would have waited till I seen Arroyo in pads, see what he could do. That's what I would probably waited for. Maybe at that point they feel like we're doing Noah a solid, but I don't know about that one, man. We'll see. The front office has been right and we've been wrong before, but it's all the inverse has also been correct too. We've been like, hey, what are they doing? And then a few months later, it's like, they messed that up. Yeah, so
it's okay.
We'll see. Best of luck to Noah, though. I think a team that snatches him up is going to get a good tight end.
Oh yeah, I'm right there with you. But Mike, we should also talk about as the season gets underway with training camp on Wednesday. As you guys are watching, this training camp has already happened. But under the microscope, who is, maybe it's a coach, maybe it's a player, who this season do you think the microscope is under and they're, hey, we're watching you closely because, we need you to do your thing this year, whether it's a coach or a player? Who would that person be for the Seahawks?
Yeah, I think there's two before. I'm going to pick two players. I could pick two coaches as well, but I'm going to pick two players. I really think that this is a really big time for Boye, Mafe, and Reek, because I feel like they're both right there. They're right there where it's like, dude, if you put it together, you're the type of guy we build around. You know, if Boye can be that 10 sack guy because he's got the tools, you can be the guy we build around. Reek's the same way. He's got the tools. You're the type of shutdown corner, if everything comes together, that we could build around. At the same time, there are investments in their positions that they've made in other guys. They've drafted other. They've signed other corners. They've drafted other. They've brought in other edge rushers too, particularly D Hall sitting right there in the wings, behind Boye. Even a guy like Job there, if they're not sold on Reek. Obviously, they've got Spoon as well. They just brought in Shaquille Griffin, though I don't think that impacts Reek that much. But I just think those two guys, they're just right there where you're on the fringe. You're like, if you put it together, you're the type of guy that gets the bag. And then they could go the other way where it's like, you're just good enough that your best value was when you were on a rookie deal. It's the difference between being Frank Clark, who was worth $100 million, at the time that he left Seattle, or being like, who was an example of just like a good player that was like, oh, Shaquille. Shaquille's a great example.
He's a great
example. Yeah, Shaquille was really valuable on his rookie deal. He was. On his rookie deal, he was a very good player. He made a Pro Bowl, I believe, in 2019. He was really good while he was for the low. And then Jacksonville paid, I think, like $13 million a year. And the performance no longer matched the contract. And I think Boye and Reek in particular are kind of teetering on that. Like they're really good values right now. They're making pennies. I could pull up their contracts. They're making pennies for guys at their position. I think they could be guys you end up paying. I just gotta see it. Like, give it to me. Give me the no. You're no longer like potential. Like now is in year 4. And they both have been playing since they were rookies. It's year 4. Show me the thing. And I really want to see that. With Boye, we probably won't see it until we get pads on. But with Reek, I just want to see it. I want to see him look like just dominant. And we've seen it in games already. So practice can only mean so much. But I just want to see it consistently. Because this is pay time. This is payday. And some players will say they don't care about the contract stuff to let it work out. Some guys are like, man, I'm thinking about it. It can go either way. With those two in particular, I just want to see them take that, just put it all together. The tools are there. They're both big. They're both strong. They're both fast. They both have a lot of good tools for their premium positions. They're both pretty young. This is it. This is go time. I want to see it. With Reek, I just need to see the consistency. Actually, with both of them, honestly, just give me the consistency. Because remember a couple years ago, Boye had like a sack like every week.
Yeah,
crazy.
he was. Yeah, exactly. That's what.
I want to see that again. Now, obviously, it doesn't need to have 17 sacks this year. Like a sack a week. But just I want to feel you every game. With Reek, that might not happen because he just won't get thrown at, I guess. But I just want to just feel you every game and not have a game where I'm like, oh man, see, you can't pay that dude. You don't want to have that. I want to see like Frank did his payday year where he was locked in. I think like 13 and a half sacks or something like that, and then got traded, but different situation. So those are the guys that, man, two of them. There's a ton. I'm curious to see who you pick here, but those probably my two. If I had to just pick players, are like I want to see you make that next that leap to the more consistent next level.
Well, I think the obvious one would be Sam Darnold. I think I'll just take that one just because I feel as if I'm doing the Seahawks community a disservice. I know you're probably not going to use Sam Darnold because that's just the easy one, but Sam Darnold for a litany of reasons, right? He's coming into a new offensive coordinator for the Seahawks yet again. You lose one of your top premier weapons, DK Metcalf, who is regarded as, a physical freak. He should be in the top 10 receivers in the NFL. He's not. I'm sure me and Mike can have a full podcast on why DK is not a top 10 wide receiver, but that's not here today. And then obviously the next player I have under the microscope will be JSN, because what he did last season was very impressive. But how much of that would we say is, oh, well, there's a guy named DK Metcalf who he was able to create and take players away from you, attracted to DK, that is, and now you have your one-on-ones. You're able to win your matches, which that's exactly what you want. So for me, for a guy, he had 2024, JSN had 100 receptions, 1,130 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Can he do that again without DK? That is, to me, the standard. Can you do that without DK? Because you do that, you are essentially a number one with that type of year. Obviously, the touchdowns might get an uptick, but if not, that's a solid, strong start for someone that's got a new offensive coordinator, new quarterback. I think that'd be pretty impressive. Going in to prior to him being drafted, he was the number 2 guy. We knew that with DK. He was the number 2 guy, but I think, Mike, you might have mentioned, no, it wasn't you. I think it was Corbin that thought he could, really become the number 1. Okay, here's his chance. I saw a comparison that he is comparable to a Tyler Boyd coming into the league. And Tyler Boyd, I think he had 2 seasons where he had 1,000 yards. So Tyler Boyd is not a bad example, but now he's been thrusted into that position of being number 1. So that number 2 vibe is now falling wayside, and you expect a little bit more from him. So I think that is going to be a challenge, but he is someone that I'm thinking, okay, you got to be outside now. You're going to move around. You have Cooper Kupp. I don't think primarily he will play the X receiver role, but I do know there will be times where he's going to have those one-on-one matchups that he just has to win. And he's not going to have the umbrella of having someone like a DK Metcalf or just an elite receiver that scares the other team enough to say, yeah, we can just leave him one-on-one. We're not worried. Well, now we believe we can stop you one-on-one. We have safety help. Can this team find a way to be effective? And it comes down to your quarterback, Sam Darnold, the offensive line, and can JSN do what he did without having a guy in DK Metcalf? So those are the 2 players that I'm looking at. Okay, Sam Darnold decision-making. Are you going to be able to have another season where you might be under pressure and you're second in the league in touchdowns, only behind Joe Burrow with throwing touchdowns under pressure? That's a pretty impressive stat. If I'm not mistaken, I think he had 13 touchdowns under pressure. I think Joe Burrow might have like 14 or 15, but there could be a high probability that this offensive line is not where it needs to be, and that pressure is there yet again. Are you able to deliver when your team needs you. So that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing. And it starts with training camp. But yeah, those are the two players that I'm looking at that are under the microscope this season, that not that I have something to prove, but people are going to have all eyes on them to see what they can do.
Let's stay on JSN here for a second because I am fascinated by him. The more I look at his place around the league, so we talked about this before we press record here. We're big fans of, or at least I'm a big fan of, the work that Jeremy Fowler does, polling executives, coaches, and scouts to rank the top 10 players at all their positions. JSN did not make the cut, as you mentioned, or no, I think you mentioned DK didn't make the cut. But
correct, yeah.
Sorry, but JSN didn't make it either. So,
yep.
Let's see here. Do you think? Here, I'm gonna ask you the question, then read you the top 10 and let you go. Do you think by the end of the year, JSN will be a top 10 guy? Hold that. Let me give the audience who the top 10 was.
Yep.
This year. Let me see here. So one was, this is just according to Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, just pulled a bunch of execs, coaches, scouts around the league to get a top 10. So this is not who ESPN says is the top 10. This is the league. So number 1 is Chase. 2 is Justin Jefferson. 3 Tyreek Hill. 4 CeeDee Lamb. 5 AJ Brown. 6 Amon-Ra St. Brown. 7 Malik Neighbors. Damn, Malik got in. Sheesh. 8 Nico Collins. 9 Mike Evans. And 10 Garrett Wilson of the Jets. So by the end of the year, do you think JSN will be like a no doubt top 10 guy?
I would say no, because Terry McLaurin and I think Puka Nacua are 2 guys I think are still better than JSN. So assuming they have decent, better years as well, I would consider them in the top 10, because I thought Puka could replace Malik Neighbors, if we're being honest. That's just my opinion. I think Neighbors caught 100 passes, so that's kind of absurd with everything he went through.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Malik in there. Let me look up his numbers real quick. Oh, Dios mío. Oh, this is a good year. 109 catches, 1,200 yards, 7 tugs on that bad Giants offense.
Yeah. Wow. So I understand. I think Mike.
Oh, he was a Pro Bowler. Jesus.
I think you might have said this. Maybe you can probably explain it better because you said it, but we shouldn't give credit to someone like Malik for playing on a bad team for putting up numbers. Not that Puka was on a great team, and he had good numbers too, but he was out there doing the damn thing as well, right? Puka's numbers were impressive. Dude was out there cooking, all right? They were a play away from going to the Super Bowl. So not to discredit Malik, but that's where I'm at with it. So I get why he made it. You just read off his numbers. That's very impressive. And as you jokingly would say, he had me and you throwing the football, and he was able to do that. So that's
that was. I didn't realize he put up those numbers. That's really good.
So yeah, but to answer your question, no, I don't think JSN will be top 10, because I still think Terry McLaurin's better, and I think Puka's better, and Puka's in the same division. But JSN could prove me wrong and just dominate, have 1,400 yards this season, 6 touchdowns, all right, and 103 catches or 117 catches. That'd be okay. You have proven you are a number 1 receiver, and you're in top 10 now for sure. That stat line would put you in the top 10 easily.
So yeah, I think that if I'll put it this way, I think the answer is no, just because I think that the Seahawks as an organization have just overrated what their offense is capable of. I just don't think the offense will be as good as they think it'll be. But we'll put it this way: if things go right, if the Seahawks are right about their offense and decisions they've made, then yeah, I think he'll end up being one. If they're right. If they're right. You know who I think? So, because honestly, looking at this list again, this isn't the first time I'm looking at it, but I think that the top 5 is pretty set in stone for me. It's in any order. I think like by the end of the year, I think we'll probably be saying definitively that Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown,
Tyreek,
and Amon-Ra St. Brown are like top 5
no
guys.
Okay, all right.
Tyreek, he's like, his mind don't be right. I think even in today he said a comment like, I just want to see what it looks like when I lock in on football or something like that. It's like fully focused on football. It's like, because if you notice, he just be into other stuff. he just do. So it's like I can't take him seriously until he takes it seriously.
Can't trust him.
Here, the direct quote: "I want to see what it looks like when I just focus on football, on myself and family. I feel like I haven't given the best version of Tyreek my whole entire career." Now, I don't know what he was asked to give that quote, but yeah, man, I'm not counting on you to be a top 5 guy. if you just can't lock in, it's like, I want to see what it looks like when I just focus on football, family, and myself. What the hell else were you focusing on, man?
So if you're gonna sub out guys, I would actually bring Nico Collins in. I think Nico Collins can make that jump as well.
I think
Nico
a lot of guys. So to finish, you're correct. So to finish
to be
my
in top
point,
5.
I think those top 5 are going to be solidified, and I
Yep.
think 6 through 16 are all up for grabs. I really do. I think 6 and 16 are all going to be up for grabs. I think Mike Evans drops out. I think no, I think I don't think Garrett's going to be considered. I don't think Justin Fields can throw, so I think he's just going to have an issue there. But yeah, I think Terry could hop. I think all the Ohio State guys are all interchangeable, really. I think
Marvin Harrison didn't even make it.
JSN, Marvin, Olave, who else is Ohio State? Garrett and Terry. I think they're all interchangeable. I think Ohio State breeds it's a certain tier of receiver, and I think they all could be anywhere between 6 and 16 in terms of the best. So I think he could get in there. I think he'll get in there if they're right. If they being the Seahawks, if they're right about this, as we talked about on the show before, there's nothing that JSN can't do.
I just looked up Brian Thomas Jr. because he was a
he's in there too,
bruh. 87 for 1282, 10 tugs.
So I think the reason why I brought up the college is because I think Ohio State produces the same tier of player, and it's just like guys who can be 6 through 16. LSU is producing guys who can be the best in the league.
My bad.
These LSU dudes are different, bro. Chase, Jefferson, Neighbors, Brian Thomas.
Yeah,
no, these LSU dudes, something's in the water in Baton Rouge, boy. I think Ohio State produces really good receivers, like high-end guys, and then LSU just puts dogs in the league. These guys are absurd. So yeah, I think that's why I brought up the college thing. I'm like, the LSU dudes, I don't know what they got going over there. It is special, but yeah, I think 6 through 16 it really just could be about health. I think Puka could be in there too, but yeah, I think if the Seahawks are right about everything, they'll get in there. If we're right, it'll be a long year, man.
Let's hope that we're not right, Mike, because we don't want long years in a negative sense. It'd be a great year if we're wrong. We could just talk about how wrong we were, and JSN's one of the best receivers in the league. Look at that, all that great stuff. That'd be great. I don't mind.
This really is. People. No, exactly, and that's what also, Chris. I think this is the year that I really don't think there's a middle. I think either the Seahawks are right or everyone else is right. Because if you look at some of these like lists and rankings, and I've been tracking most of them since I've been on vacay, they all basically say the Seahawks are mid. Basically, they're all just like, you guys got a couple of good players, and then just meh, and some guys who might be good, they might not be. Like every list has them like they're 16th in this, 17th in that, bottom in this, but their D line's really good and their secondary's got some guys. Like every assessment of the Seahawks kind of says the same thing, that you're mid, that you're maybe the third best team in your own division, and you're mid. You might make the playoffs, you might not. And the Seahawks have kind of set this up. We're like, nah, y'all, we're like that. And I really don't think there's going to be a middle ground. I think either everyone's going to be right and they're going to be mid, or the Seahawks are going to win like 13 games.
Picking 20th in the 2026 NFL draft, the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, you know what? 20th would be a playoff team. 20th would be a playoff team.
Hey, that's a start, though. So you were above mid. So technically mid will put you at 16 then, 16, 17?
Yep, 16. Yeah, 17.
Don't want to see that again. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, because 14 teams make it. So yeah, we don't do math on this show, but yeah, I think the guys we mentioned have a big role in that. JSN, Sam, Reek, Boye. Yeah, I mean, it's the young talent, man. They've got to pop. They've really got to pop.
Speaking of young talent, we got a few more things we want to hit on, but you wrap with me about this. The next star outside of Spoon, because I think listeners, viewers watching, thank you for subscribing. They all agree that Spoon is that next guy, solidified, stud, star, whatever word you want to use to represent. He's the dude. You're that dude, pal. He's that. So, who is the next one, Mike? Who on the Seahawks roster is that next star that's going to have his face when you pull up to Lumen to go to a game, or as you call it, the Lou?
Yeah, I who I would like it to be, and who I think it can be, is Kobe Bryant, man. I talked about him on the show before. Um, I just think he's made of the right stuff. And in writing my book, The Franchise, Seattle Seahawks, A Curated History of the Legion of Boom, drops August 12th. It's also behind me in the backdrop. Available for pre-order now.
There we go.
Yeah, pre-order now wherever books are sold. In writing the book, I learned so much about the mental part of the game. And sometimes football just comes down to you either got it or you don't, like mentally. Like you either just built the right way or you're not. And I think Pete Carroll, they had like a rating scale where they would rate the players on a 1 to 7. It was the competitiveness scale. 7 being the most competitive. 7s were really hard to get. I think Pete only had like one guy that was a 7. And then like 6 was like really, really competitive. You're the most competitive you could possibly be. And 7 was like, oh, you're competitive, and you are so competitive in the way you carry yourself that you bring other guys along with you because of how you carry yourself. That's how you got to be a 7. So you guys can probably guess who the 7 was in that regard, and who the 6s were, and so on and so forth. I think Kobe, he wouldn't be a 7 because I don't know if he like galvanizes guys in that way, but I think he'd be a 6 to continue like on the rubric there that Pete and his coaches created. And they never told the players what they were, to be clear. I think like after I told KJ about that, I told KJ that Pete told me who the 7 was. And he was like, really? And I ended up telling him who it was. I'm not going to tell you guys yet. But yeah, that you guys could probably figure it out though. Anyway, Kobe, I think, would be a 6. Like just he's got it upstairs. I think that's really important because when you get to the NFL, everybody in the NFL for the most part has been the best guy on their high school team. They're really good in college. Like they've done it. They were all conference. They were all state. Like everyone is big, strong, fast. Everybody. It's upstairs that starts to separate you, and I think Kobe's got that. I think he's got it upstairs. I think he's in a good scheme to make plays as a safety. I think if there's going to be a guy who, when you walk up to Lumen, if things go right, the next guy who could have his big old picture there when you walk by the little event center, they got the huge photos there. I think if Kobe's not, he could already be up there. I ain't been there in a minute, but if he's not, he could be that next guy. I think he's got it because he's got the skills. He's got all that. It really is just the attitude. I love telling just a little anecdote. I've told it on the show before, but I'll tell it every time. We're asking Kobe about, like, man, you've been playing nickel, you've been playing this, you can move to that. He just kind of shrugged, just putting his cleats on. He's just like, I'm a ball player, bro. I just put me anywhere, I'll play ball. Like that's what I do. And you guys know, you've been watching Mike McDonald and listened to him for the past year. That's what Mike McDonald wants. Can you just play ball, dog? Like go out there, just roll the ball out there, and I need you on my team because I just know we're gonna win because I got you. You know, because of your mindset. You know, I think that's if things go right, he would be my vote as the guy. Who's your guy?
Wow. You know, I'll go K9. K9 has literally everything you mentioned about Kobe in his game. Everything. And then some. He got the speed. He got the strength. He got the attitude. He'd be ready to fight anybody and everyone after a play. He's
Ken's
just
a
like
dog. He's gonna fight that. What's the corner from the Niners? They're gonna fight this year.
Lenore.
Yep, Demondre Lenore, the one that keep talking crap about him on the
that too.
No, that he's been posting about Ken all offseason on his Instagram.
Oh wow.
Okay. Oh, I gotta dig up some of that. I think I got him bookmarked. He's been calling Ken, like making fun of the fact that he's bald now. Like he's been going at him. Yeah. I'll
Does
find
he not
him
know that Ken loves contact? And
that's the dude that they fought kind of at the remember the Niners game last year, the Geno run the touchdown in? Yeah, they got into it there. Remember they like body slammed each other? That dude. They're gonna fight.
Yeah,
they're gonna fight.
They're gonna do a bunch of powers to his side, I'd imagine, this upcoming season to see if he can tackle. But yeah, K9, he just ensembles star, and it hasn't been his way just with the offensive line and him not trusting where he wants to go with the football in that regard, and new OC. It just hasn't been a perfect fit. To your point, if everything is right, I think K9 could be the star. I was with JSN, obviously. That means if everything works out the way the Seahawks wanted, they'll have next season, they'll be the team that has 6 players in the top 10. According to the executives, players, and coaching's rankings that Fallow do next season. So I think just K9 is just so explosive. He can take it to the house on one play. He can catch out the backfield. He can block. What can he not do? Let's just start there. What can he not do? He's that guy. He is capable of being the best running back in this league. That's how good he is.
You know what? Let's pull up the running back list while you're talking about that. Sorry to cut you off. I think you're right. Let's put the running back list because Ken didn't make it, right?
Yeah, and it's I have no gripe about that. I thought it was fair. He didn't have a great season last year. He didn't deserve to be on the list. So we obviously got Saquon at number 1, Derrick Henry number 2, Jameer number 3, Bijan. Like, to me, he's right there with Bijan when everything goes right, in my opinion.
No, mine too. That's the official Seahawks man-to-man opinion right there.
Those two mirror each other in so many ways. We saw that. You got to see it up close when they played Atlanta. Bijan was running all over the Seahawks. I'm thinking, damn, that could be K9. Obviously, the Seahawks defense picked up in the second half, but my point is their styles are just so unique. I think Bijan might have a little more better cuts, but whatever. We're talking like minute details here. Outside of that, 1 and 2 right there. So a really good season. Ken Walker is number 4. That's what I'm talking about. That is something that he can do, I think, consistently. It just hasn't been consistent, and we have a lot to discuss as to why, but I really believe that K9 could be that type of running back in the NFL for sure.
So the rest of that list was 5 CMC, 6 Josh Jacobs, 7 Jonathan Taylor, 8 James Cook, 9 Joe Mixon, 10 Alvin Kamara. And the honorable mentions were Bucky Irving, Aaron Jones, Devon Achane, Breece Hall, James Conner. I don't think I just named anybody who was more talented than Ken. They've produced. They've stayed healthier in some of those instances, but I don't think I named anyone who's more talented just now. I'm with you 1,000%. That's like I generally think that the way that the outside world is currently perceiving the Seahawks and their talent is pretty fair. The only one that that if I had to say, oh, this is my guy, you guys are it just hasn't happened yet because of circumstances, to your point, out of his control is Ken. I really just don't see a talent discrepancy between, him and Bijan. I don't even know if I see one between him and Gibbs, to be honest, bro. Like
I was going to start with Gibbs.
I just don't.
I feel you on that.
Gibbs is like maybe faster, but
that's it.
Ken was 4th. Ken's a 4.3 guy.
So Gibbs must be 4.30. My bad. Ooh, we're sorry. So yeah, Ken can definitely be.
Let me Google Jameer Gibbs 40 time right fast. Now 40 time isn't everything. Jameer ran a 4.36.
Oh, so Ken's faster.
What did Ken
4.33, right?
4.38.
Oh, okay.
Boom.
My bad.
Same guy. That's the same tier of guy, though. You know, you're 4.3 guy. I think that they're the same.
And Ken is more physical. Ken's willing to run you over. Jameer ain't doing that. Jameer,
now he's the lightning to the other guy's thunder.
Exactly, and that's just 2 different styles. That's why I compared him to Bijan, because Bijan, he can lower his shoulder and he can run by you.
Yeah, no, that's like I don't know how much we talked about Ken on the show, but yeah, I think that's the guy who's like who should be most pissed at the O-line, all these OC changes. Like, dude, but give me what these other guys are getting, and I'll get busy.
It reminds me to your Noah Fant point. He doesn't really say much. He's very like when he comes to the podium,
say nothing, bro.
He's like, I could have played better. He reminds me of Gino when Gino will go up there and blame himself for everything that went wrong. It's like, Gino, you were not playing starting center. You didn't snap the ball to yourself and fumble it. Okay. You can't do that. That's how K9 is. K9 will say, yeah, I got to do this better and blah, blah, blah. He will take blame. Even it might be a 3-minute presser and K9 will say it was on me. I need to play better. I didn't prepare the way that is his style and how he does things. So he is that type of person where he'll take the blame. He'll take the shoulder. And that's what you would want out of if everything goes right, your superstar running back. So yeah, this guy, he does no wrong. He's out there to play football, do his job, and it just hasn't gone his way.
Well, and when he does well, he gives other guys credit too, to your point about accountability.
True.
I think that's huge. Yeah, like, oh, my O-line did this. Gino threw a good ball. Shane called a good play. Whatever. He'll just do that. as well. Sorry to cut you off, but yeah, I think
You're good.
I'm
You're
with
right.
you, man.
That's 1000%. So
You got to do that too. You got I think Ken's been done such a disservice. Not like a perfect back, obviously, but none of the guys he just named that I named after you said the top 5 are perfect backs, except for Saquon. Saquon was made in a lab. And I wouldn't even call Derek a perfect running back, Derrick Henry, because if I was to make a running back, I think you got to be a sicko to make one that looks like Derek. Derek's like if I was gonna make an edge rusher, I'd be like, let's make him 6'4", chiseled up, super
230,
explosive.
runs a 4.3.
You don't make a running back in a lab and make it look like Derek unless you are insane. You make one in a lab and it looks like Saquon. Like that's more normal, I think, for like making the perfect dude. Like you don't do that. You don't do that and come up with Derrick Henry.
I lied. Guess what Derrick Henry's 40 time is? I'll explain why it's this, but just guess what it is.
You want a 4.4?
4 or 5.4. I don't know why I thought 4.3, but he has great top end speed. So once he gets rolling, you ain't catching him.
Yeah, it's physics. Yeah, once something that heavy gets rolling, you can't stop it.
Yeah. So he's
Derek's a little different.
Yes, a little, Mike.
Yeah,
very different.
He's on that list. I've told you about this all the time when I go to the games. There's these guys that when you see them in person, it's like, excuse me?
Yeah, you saw him with the Titans.
Not only did I see him with the Titans, dog, he bullied it. He had like 180 yards.
Yeah. Our boy Diggs got a nice little stiffy. I was like, damn, not the homie.
That's the thing though, Derek. Dude, that's everybody. You know, it's
everyone.
Just like, you could be all pro safety, DB, linebacker. He'll put you in the dirt. Yeah, no, he's different. Same thing. Saquon will embarrass you too if you're not on it. So yeah. But anyway, to go back to Ken, yeah, Ken is just as good as pretty much anybody outside that top 2 of Derek and Saquon. After that, just like we were saying, I said the receivers 6 through 16 can probably just be jumbled any given year. I think for when you're talking about running backs, 3 through 13 can just change. You can
for grabs.
Yeah, I think I would throw Genty in there too. Genty could be just as good as any of those guys we just named as well. So yeah, I think Ken just hasn't gotten that setup right. I think if you just switched Ken and Jahmyr Gibbs, the Lions offense would be no worse. It would be just as imagine Ken behind with the best play caller in the league and the best offensive line.
He would never get hurt. Because he would face DBs. Linebackers, he would never get touched. He would just see DBs and it'd be touchdowns.
Yeah, last year Jahmyr had 1,400 yards and 16 touchdowns rushing. And Jahmyr's made the Pro Bowl each of the last 2 years. No joke. I think Ken could do that in Detroit.
Absolutely.
I think he could do it.
I think
Ken, he could do it.
Because there's this thing called paydays where you can get extended. Now, obviously, the numbers don't provide that. Hey, we should probably extend this guy, but it's a little projection there. I think this is what you can do for me. We all understand how running backs in this league works. You ain't playing well. You ain't getting a payday. They will ship you out. They will not pay you. The first example I remember is DeMarco Murray ran that boy into the ground and then just said, we're not going to pay you. And the Tennessee Titans picked him up. Neither here nor there. So there's a couple guys, Mike, from that same class with K9. You got Abe Lucas, Boye, Mafe, Kobe Bryant, who you also mentioned as someone that could be a star, the next star for the Seahawks, and Reek. Charles Cross as well in that. What's up, man? Are any of these dudes about to get a nice little extension?
Yeah, I don't know why they ain't paid Charles yet, man. I would pay him today, right now. Do you see what these left tackles are making that are just like barely can walk and chew gum? Are making like 20 million? Like it is hard out here to find good left tackles.
What would you say to the person that says, "Oh, I want to wait and see what Charles can do this season"?
I mean, you can do that, but see, here's the thing: those are the same type of people who will call something an overpay if you got to give Charles 30 million. Because if you wait and see what Charles can do, you give him 30 million. If it goes well, you give him 30 million. Let's look at the top left tackles here, because one of these guys just got paid. Let's see, contracts, positions, left tackle. Highest paid left tackle right now, 27 million. If you wait and Charles balls out, give him 30, probably, because I think the Chargers left tackle got to get paid too, maybe some other guys. Yeah, wait. Now, I don't necessarily care because it's not my money. So if you do wait and you give him 30, you give him 30. Good for Charles. But if fans tend to care about getting guys for a price tag that they feel like it is like they don't want to pay a guy they feel like is the 12th best cornerback, like the 4th best cornerback, not realizing that he'll eventually be paid like the 12th when other guys get paid. But if you want to pay Charles, like fans are like, oh, Charles not a top 10 tackle, so why would we pay him like one? I understand. Those fans care about that. I don't. I understand market value. Charles is like barely old enough to rent a car without the extra insurance. Like, and he's a good left tackle. You pay those guys because if you don't and he walks, you are screwed. Even if you're good at drafting and stuff like that, the Chiefs are struggling to find competent tackles. I don't even know who their left tackle is right now. And that's a team that's been good at it. Been good at drafting linemen. It's just hard when you're good. The tackles don't usually fall to you in the draft. You got to, look what it took to get Charles. They needed their first top 10 pick in like 10 years to go grab them. It just happened to work out that they had that in a good left tackle class. So yeah, I understand maybe you're like, oh, well, let's wait. You can wait as long as you're cool paying them 30. Because I'm telling you, the best version, if Charles gives you like, oh, okay, this is it. He's locked in, the best version of him, that's a $30 million a year player.
Get ahead of
it. How old is Charles? Make sure I get this age right. Charles
24.
Cross. He's 24. He'll be 25. So that means he'd be hitting free agency. Now, granted, he still has that 5th year option, but again, I just don't want to play like that and wait and create what's going on with some of these other players and these holdouts and these contract stuff. You don't want to get to that. You gotta use a top 10 pick on a guy. He's worth it. Pay him. The rest of these dudes, you can wait. I
do think your boy.
Well, so I'll go to Kobe. I want them to wait for Kobe's sake, because right now, if they were to talk extension with Kobe, his resume does not suggest that you pay him like $15 million a year. It just doesn't, right? Like even if I think that he could be worth that at some point, it would just be hard if I was his agent to negotiate that based on just what he's done. Now, in $15 million a year, I think it's like a top 10 safety, right? Which I think Kobe could be that. Now, if you wait though, I think Kobe could be a $20 million a year safety. And I want him to get that back. I want all these guys to get that back, to be very clear. If they pay Charles 30, like I say, my money, pay him 35. I don't care. do nothing for me. But I can see waiting on that. And it's probably, and I should throw this in there too, it's probably in Kobe's best interest to wait, because he'd probably get lowballed like crazy right now. They probably offer him like $9 million a year. Then you got to flip John Snyder the middle finger. If you wait, he can make more money. I guess it behooves a lot of those guys to wait too, because they assume they're all going to play well. But that's why if I'm the Seahawks, I'm like, dude, we don't need this left tackle market to go up anymore. Like if Charles hired me to be his agent, Charles, if you see this, hey, I'll do it. I get you the bag, brother. I just take 2%. I don't even need 3% like your agent now. Give me 2%. We'll be straight. There you go. I think that's illegal in the NFLPA, whatever, but NFLPA is a mess right now. So
yeah, their dude was out here going to the strip club and using the credit card, the company credit card, excuse me. But continue. Mike.
Yeah, he was at the second floor, booby trap, going nuts, or Tootsies. That's what it was.
Tootsies, where we were.
Going crazy. Yeah. Team bonding on the receipt. Y'all was bonding, all right. Y'all was bonding with booties. Anyway, Charles, I'll do it. I get you $25 million a year right now. That's what I would do it for. Right now, I give him 25 because that's what it costs. These other guys, I can see the team wanting to wait. I'm trying to think. What do you paying Reek right now? No, Reek walks in. Here you go. You're John Snyder. I'm Reek. I'm Reek's agent, actually. Let's see. What do corners make right now? I walk in. I say, John, how you doing? I represent Reek Woolen. We would like a contract extension, and we would like $24 million a year over the next 3 years. So that's 3 and 72.
All I hear is the word lock in from Mike McDonald. So based on the fact that we can't get you locked in, I can't extend you right now, brother. We're gonna have to play this season out. So
no counter offer? Just no.
No.
Interesting.
Nah, I can't do it. He's not. When your head coach says you need to be locked in, that tells me everything I need to know. That kind of what your Reek thing. I mean, not Reek,
No,
but
you're
your
right.
Tyreek Hill.
No, you're
Hill's,
Tyreek Hill.
come
I know
on.
what you meant. Yeah.
Gotta see what I'm like when I'm locked in. So you mean to tell me you haven't been locked in the last 7-8 years you've been in the league? What are you doing? You just messing
No,
around
you're
and having.
right.
So not that Reek is stating that, but when your head coach comes out and says we have to have my guy more locked in, that tells me he's just not at that level yet. And I'm giving you big time playmaker, top 10 money. I don't know what's gonna happen. You might disappear, collect a check, and we never hear from you again. So I'd be on the downside is, yeah, you could lose Reek, but Mike, I can get a corner. There's a lot of corners out there.
No, that's exactly what they might say. You're right.
You can find a corner. Is it easy? Absolutely not. But that's what them scouts get paid for. We lose Reek in the offseason. All right, find me my next corner. And by the way, I'm not here giving the 6'3", long arms. Find me someone that can play corner. I don't care if he's 5'10". If he can play corner, guess what he can do? He can play corner. We can,
you're right.
We can figure out ways to put a safety over the top so you can have a little bit of help if they got a 6'6" dude over there. We can make things shake. But for now, if that's the case, find me a corner. And there's no slight on Reek. It's just the simple fact of I need you locked in. And if I have to say that out loud, that's a little of a concern. I can't give you all that cash and expect you to then take it to the next level. Because where's that been the last few seasons?
I think that's the better approach than what I feel like fans would typically want is like, yeah, we'll pay you, but you only get like 18 million. It's like, why would I even do that?
Well, it's like coming back on that then.
Yeah, it's like either you want to pay a guy because you think he's worth it as part of your core, or you don't. You know, so no, I could easily see it going like that. Shoot, it probably did go like that. I can maybe check in now that I'm off vacation and see if that happened. I could easily see it going like that. It's like, because 24 million, that's what it's going for someone young, got the ball skills, coverage numbers are good. That's the thing about Reek. His coverage numbers are really good. Like, say what you want about being locked in, tackling, effort, whatever, all valid, to be clear. Despite all that, still very good when you ask him to just line up and follow the guy in front of him.
I mean, Mike, 24 a year, you right there with Pat Surtain and Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
He ain't that. Not right now.
That's about right. Because when these other corners get paid, he'll eventually drop to being like the 6th highest and the 7th highest. And that's how it goes. You definitely, here's the other thing. You're right about that. But I do think that the way you got to look at contract extensions are, you're not paying for what they did, you're paying for what you think they're gonna do. Like, and you're using what they've done as a gauge to project what they will do. You know, you're not saying, oh, you had 10 picks, so we're paying you for those 10 picks. No, we were paying you when you got the 10 picks. Now we're paying you because we think you get 10 picks again.
Imagine if he was Ward from the Niners that's now with the Colts. Consistency, just like that, with his speed and athleticism. We're talking about an all-pro player here. If he did that. Because you know what Ward is? He's consistent. He is consistent throughout the board. He is just constant. He's not giving up the deep ball too often. He makes plays, for sure tackler, physical. Him and DK had battles, okay? If Reek is that, Reek Woolen is that, come on, man. That's all pro right there.
You know, I think to make it go ahead.
Because he has the skill set. Ward wasn't blessed with amazing speed like that. He got the height. He just had the 4.3 speed. That's something you just can't teach. So he puts that consistency together, all pro. Pay him $40 million a year. Make the highest paid safe corner of all time. Great. Do it. That's the level that he could be at.
Yeah, I think that a good example of someone who was that last year, or just has been that as a Seahawk and not like at the star level per se, was DJ Reed. Like, DJ Reed was just consistently just like, I'm good. He had the game against the Vikings where that was rough. In 2021,
Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs. That's a nasty combo right there, man.
Yeah, that was a long.
I know I'm a big McDonald's guy, large fry, no salt, 2 cheeseburgers, but that's what it was on Sunday. Or was it a primetime game too, Mike?
No, it wasn't a primetime. It was Adam Thielen, and they had Justin Jefferson too.
He was a rookie.
Yeah, second year.
Oh, second year. Okay. Woo.
Yeah,
That was a
second year
fun
in the
game.
league. That was a
Watching that
long
tape,
game.
I was like, damn, these moves is nasty.
But I really, yeah, that was nasty. But honestly, I don't think he gave up a touchdown after that game. That was like week 3. So like he was very consistent again after that. Like you just want to see that he was really good. This is why the Jets paid him. Lions just paid him. He's been good since then. Really consistent guy. Just doesn't have the physical tools. That's a really good example of like, yeah, just be that. No, I think that's a good rebuff of the offer because yeah, if you're Reeks people, I don't even want nothing that starts with a 1 in the extension, like a 18 or 9. I don't. It's just no
Yeah.
point. We might as well roll the dice and see if we can get to camp. Or excuse me, get to free agency.
Because you're talking about what at 19, I think Marshawn Lattimore, yeah, he makes 19.5, and he's over there with the Commanders. So I understand why the camp will be like, we're better than him. No,
and yeah, it's just no point of settling for that because you think your client's gonna ball, So yeah, I'd rather be like the Seahawks say, no, we don't really want to pay anything right now. Let's just wait and see. Go show and prove, and we'll revisit towards the end of the year. And I think that's a fair stance, to be clear. I was playing his agent in that regard. I need 3% in this contract. I should have 2. And yeah, I think that's kind of the case with everybody. The tricky one really is Boye is a tricky one as well because boy, these edge rusher deals. I feel like they was on like a steady little increase, and then I went on vacation for a little bit, stopped paying attention because they didn't have no edge rusher worth getting paid. Now these guys make like 40 plus. It's like, when did that happen? this is kind of insane. Like even
blame Myles Garrett. God dang it.
No, I think even what's the white guy from Minnesota? I think he makes like 23, 25 million a year. I'm like, wait, when did that happen? The guy with the funky name, Van Ginkel.
Oh, he makes like
re-up. Yeah. I'm like, yo,
right.
When did the Van Ginkel's worth 20? I think it's 23 million or something like that. Yeah, I didn't know that was I didn't know we was paying the Van Ginkels 23.
Man. Oh yeah, he signed a 1-year contract extension, 23 mil, up to 23 mil. But dang, oh my gosh.
Yeah, man. Looking at these deals, I knew Bosa would get paid. And then yeah, Max Crosby, Max, Daniel Hunter, Myles Garrett. Yeah. Boye's not gonna be in that range. But what those deals do is they raise the floor. So now you're looking at with Boye's extension, you'd have to start with a 2. Otherwise, don't talk to me. Unless he just one of them guys like, you know what? I love it here. I want that peace of mind that I'm under contract for multiple seasons. Some guys have a family, don't want to move their family, whatever. If those guys want to do that, cool. Again, not my money.
Well, shoot, care. Mike. Well, I guess it's more of an edge because I know Van Ginkel plays outside linebacker. So yeah, Jonathan Grenier, he's making 19.
Oh, he's nice. He's nice.
And he's
Bernard, he's nice.
Oh, excuse me. Thank you, Bernard. 19. So they're paying 2 edge guys 40 plus.
Yeah, that's a good defense, though. I understand why they're doing that. That's a good. The Seahawks got a good defense too. Yeah, I think looking at all these would be very interesting discussions to see how the Seahawks view these guys and the market. Because here's the other thing that's so interesting, because if the Seahawks are right about what these guys could be, all these guys are worth big bags, like big ones. If they're right about their offensive line, well, Ken's about to run for 1,300. If they're right about this edge group, Boye is about to hit like 10, 11 sacks. If they're right about the secondary, which I think they are, Reek's going to be worth 22, 23, 24, 25 million. If they're right about the O-line, Charles and Abe, what you just said about the Vikings paying a bunch of guys, 2 guys 40 mil, be doing the same thing up front. The Seahawks would be paying Abe and Charles. It's very interesting, and that would squeeze somebody out. Somebody got to not get paid. Ken, Kobe, who knows? I hope they all get paid for what it's worth. Again, not my money. But these
disclaimer.
Yeah, I don't care what they got. I'm happy for them when they do. It's great. It's generational wealth. Take care of your family, all that good stuff. But just talking the business of it, yeah, Charles is the one where I'm like, get that done immediately, because I don't think. Also, I just don't think the Seahawks can afford to just like mess around and then delay signing a good offensive lineman that they drafted. You don't have the luxury of waiting. Like, oh yeah, which if we don't pay you, we can just draft another one of you. No, you can't, John. No, you can't.
Got a track record of that, brother.
Yeah, no, we don't believe you. You need more people. Pay Charles. Pay Abe too, but I can understand if Abe wants to wait till his knees all healed up, show improve. Go get a bigger bag. I can understand that. It benefits all these guys to wait if they think they're going to ball. But for the Seahawks, as soon as Charles walks in today, I got that right there in your locker, buddy. There's 4 years, 100. Love ya. Go out there. Go kill it. Appreciate you, big dog. Go ahead, take a shower, sign that. Yeah, meet you upstairs in my office.
Okay, all right. Well, we got some time. Training camp about to start, so will they do something? We gonna find out. Mike, do you think they're gonna do anything? I'll just ask you that before we get out of here. Do you think someone's gonna get a deal done? Whether it's Cross, I guess it would probably be only Cross based on how we was talking, huh?
Yeah,
which makes sense. So I guess that was a dumb question to ask. We did just go through it ourselves and kind of no to Reek, no to Ken, no to Abe, Shari Boye, Kobe coming soon. So I guess Charles is the only one that makes sense.
It's just such a no-brainer to me. So I would like to think that by the time this show comes out, Charleston got paid.
All right.
I would like to think that. I'm not gonna break the news because that's just not how the insider game works these days. It's just such a nasty business. You got Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport tweeting out agents signing with other agents as if they're players. They tweeted out DK's old agent signed a deal with another agency. I'm like, why do we care? That's how the game goes. So I probably won't break it. So I'll probably wake up tomorrow morning. I hope I wake up Wednesday morning and see that little notification. The Seahawks and Charles Cross have agreed to blah blah. Hopefully
Fair enough.
They did that because this is not a team that can just be like, well, we got the leverage. No, you don't, dog. If you don't got a left tackle, we've seen that. We saw that.
Not good.
Not investing properly in your O-line cost you like the chance to be like a dynasty. Like it legitimately did. So don't play around with that. Abe, I can understand because of the knee. Everyone else, no.
Well, thank you everyone for watching, listening. We appreciate all the love and support. Mike, as Mike mentioned, he got some busy stuff going on. Baby boy about to enter this world. So we'll take about 2 weeks off and then we'll come back and we will be rolling. So we appreciate all the love and support. Again, if you are listening, I'm talking to you, ma'am, sir, child, whoever it is. Go ahead, go to YouTube, Seahawks Man to Man, hit that subscribe button. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. See how easy that was? It didn't take much. So we appreciate all the love and support. Mike, is there anything you want to add before we get on out of here?
Yeah, thank you guys all for all the love. Appreciate it. Hopefully, my son can come here at a reasonable time, so I don't gotta miss much time. Because my daughter came, pushed her right out, and went to camp a couple days later. So hopefully we can do the same thing. We don't got to take too much of a break. Because I do like this time of year. I'm one of the few beat writers, I think, around the world, around the NFL, that really likes camp. I just like the grind of seeing it every day and watching guys and hearing them argue and talk trash and hearing play calls and all that stuff, and how much of a sickos the fans are for getting all the little updates about like this 5th round rookie. They're like, all you guys who are going to tweet me and ask like, how's Torrey Horton looking? Like, who cares? You do. So because you care, I care. Like that. I like this time of year, so I hate to miss it. Obviously, I'd have a good reason to miss it, but I like this time of year. So thank you guys for tapping in. Hopefully, we're not taking too much of a break after. You guys have fun. Enjoy camp. If you come to camp, fans be there. Come say what up. We love meeting you guys in person. So please do. Until next time, we're out.